All right, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another edition of the Uper Farmer Cigar Garage Talks. How's everyone doing? I'm doing great. You might be noticing some things are a little different. We're going to go over what we're having tonight. First off, the ever wonderful and delicious chocolate pudding bread. So good, so tasty. I've been savoring the few loaves I have left of that. Definitely a good addition to any cigar night. For the drink, it's actually homemade hard apple cider. Delicious. Very good stuff. And the cigar tonight is something kind of special, so we're starting with the video a little differently. This here is a Oscar Valdez Leaf, or Leaf by Oscar Valdez cigar, Connecticut. Oscar Valdez is a new cigar maker that started to make his own. He was kind of adding his wrapper to like generic filler cigars, but now he's actually wrapping his own. The cigar is actually, this is a leaf. You can actually smoke that, and then it's wrapped, the cigar is wrapped inside a tobacco leaf. So I kind of want to do, I don't know, like an unboxing, I guess, of this, because this was just too much fun. Apparently few of the cigars actually have these bands. You can actually smoke them. That's all tobacco. It can be smoked. This is what I was curious about. So we're going to do a little unboxing. I'll light it. It'll come right back. Look at that. Oh. And it has the leaf band, which apparently you can smoke. I might try it. It's a beautiful Connecticut cigar, actually. This might be dangerous, folks. This might be dangerous. Look at that. Tobacco leaf. We're going to put that back in the humidor for other projects I might have. But let me go get this lit up, and I'll be right back. So stand by. All right, and we're back. I got it lit up. Got a drink. Got my candle. If you're wondering what happened to the alcohol lamp, it's having a hell of a time staying lit now the temperatures are getting cold. I got to modify it or something or adjust it. So that might take a little bit before that comes back. But anyhow, how's everyone doing tonight? Like I said, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to smoking this Leaf by Oscar Valdez. Apparently new cigar maker on the market. A couple of cigars actually I've been smoking recently, for especially this hunting season, are from him. His hunting series, Hunting EMS Story. And I have not been let down. This is actually a pretty good Connecticut cigar. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy that. Some homebrew hard apple cider. Going to really enjoy that. And of course the apple bread. Or the chocolate pudding bread. Delicious. So what's tonight's story? Tonight is the one that didn't get away. So, again, these are all EMS stories that are hunting based out in the woods, being called a hunting camp, down hunters, stuff like that. So tonight's story starts off with a report of a lost hunter. And these happen every deer season. A hunter doesn't check in, doesn't call his wife, girlfriend, family, whatever. And in fact, most of opening week, especially opening day, law enforcement, fire, will bounce around trying to find these lost hunters. So when I was a lost hunter, we're not usually initiated to go do any checks or searches or whatnot. But shortly after that lost hunter was reported, we had reports of a truck on the side of the road with someone in trouble. Unknown, man down, having trouble. So we haul out. Sure enough, we get pretty close to the scene, and we get a report of CPR in progress. Now, there's a bit of a distance as we're going towards this man down next to a vehicle. He goes from CPR in progress to on-scene medical staff, first responders, are declaring DOA. The guy's dead on arrival. Nothing much they can do for him. We still got to go there, check it out. So we get there, and here's this guy in hunting fatigues, bright orange and whatnot. They were pounded on his chest, but they, after doing a little bit more of an assessment, found out he had rigor mortis. He'd probably been down, not breathing, no pulse for give or take an hour. Is the estimate that the ME gave when we called in a report. There was some blood pooling, some lividity going on. So the guy was definitely dead. We did our test, ran our EKG, asystole, all 3 leads, nothing we could do. We confirmed first responders' findings and proved that, yeah, this was a DOA. Well, no more than, 10, 20 yards was a dead deer lying in the ditch. Kind of sparked my curiosity. Went down into the ditch and saw this deer. It had been gutted. So unfortunately, I was talking to my partner, talked to the doctor. I said, what probably happened here is this guy was out hunting, shot a deer, tried to drag it in, drag it home, and had a myocardial infarction. Had a heart attack or exerted himself and got to the truck, had a massive cardiac arrest, and died. That does happen. We actually had in the county I worked in, they had a big ad campaign really encouraging hunters to have loved ones, especially elderly hunters, have loved ones come and help you drag your deer out. There was actually some people who, if you were over, I think it was 60, they would come drag the deer out of the woods for you, because we had a rash of this happening where people were going down from dragging deer out and having cardiac events. So none to our surprise, it was quickly confirmed that this was the lost hunter. We pulled his ID, called it an essential. Sure enough, it was the lost hunter. And, of course, none to my surprise, the family of this hunter, because it was a small enough county that word travels fast. Everyone's got scanners. They're all listening in. The family showed up quite rapidly. So we cleaned the guy up. We pulled him in the back of our ambulance until ME could get there. Kind of gives them the family a chance to visit in a controlled area. And his, I want to say daughter or granddaughter, I think it was daughter, came in. She wanted to see her dad. So they couldn't say their goodbyes and whatnot. We let them. We kind of had one of the EMT sat in there with them while I sat outside and kind of surveyed the scene, what was going on. Well, one, it was, I believe either his brother, I believe his brother, was another older gentleman, was like, just out of curiosity, pulls me aside. He's like, did you find, what happened? I said, well, he shot a deer, was dragging it out. Had a heart attack. He said, he shot a deer. Yeah, there's a deer, I'm pretty sure it's his, lying in the bush. And the guy, he kind of gets a bit of a laugh and a smile to his face. He runs off, talks to him, guessing this guy's son. They both kind of give each other a hug and start chuckling. And they ask if they can go see the deer. And I thought, no, you kind of have a dead family member, but, whatever. I'm sure, go ahead and go see the deer. So I walk with them to the deer, and they just start crying and hugging and, talking about disbelief. They can't believe it. He did it. He did it. They kept saying that. I can't believe it. He did it. He did it. And I said, folks, I got to know what's going on here, because this is one of the weirdest reactions I've ever had to death. And I've dealt with, at that period, lots of death in my career. This is one of the weirdest reactions, though. I mean, they're laughing, they're happy. Still sad, but they're almost excited. I was like, folks, what's going on? What's going on here? And they said the guy who was, the father, grandfather, brother, was an avid hunter. He spent his entire life hunting. He worked as a guide, taking people out hunting all over the world. He's been big game hunting, small game hunting. He fed his family on deer meat every year. The guy was an avid hunter. And about, I think they said 15 years ago, there was a man from Outdoor Life or one of the news magazines. I don't think it was one of the bigger ones. I think it was a smaller one. was doing an article on him because, and showing all these mounts. He had mounts of most of his deer, and he had them lined up by rack size. And the guy who's interviewing him says, you're only missing a couple, and you'd have 1 through 30. He even had a 1-point buck. It was called this unicorn deer. It was weird, at a malformation where the horn actually came from the center of its forehead. And the guy kind of laughed, and he said, I guess I am. I'm only missing a handful of, points, rack sizes of deer before, I kind of have 1 through 30. Or 1 through 30, 1 through 20, massive amounts of deer he had taken. I think it was 1 through 30. Anyhow, turns out for the next 15 years, he became obsessed with finishing the 1 through 30. And he says his life goal, his crowning achievement was to get 1 through 30. And they said the last 4 years, he went after his white whale, which was a 4-point. And they said now it couldn't just be any 4-point. This had to be a good, solid 4-point with a thick base, beautiful rack before this gentleman would have it stuffed and put on his wall. Because, of course, you see lots of little skinny 4-points and slim 4-points, and I'm going to imagine that into a 4-point, sure. But he wanted a trophy 4-point. And as the family member looked upon, they're like, yep, and this was his white whale. This is what he got. He said when he got that deer, he would be ready to die. So now he had 1 through 30. Would be going on his wall, and that's how they'd remember him. I mean, it was a good size 4-point. I'll give you that. It was a big buck, nice thick antlers at the bottom. I know you measure the base of the horn to get some of the scores and whatnot, but it had nice 4 beautiful tongs on its rack. And they said, this is it. He finally did it. He finally got the last deer. And he probably died a happy man, they said. He accomplished his major life goal, was to get 1 through 30. So interesting reactions. Like I said, there are a lot of reactions I've seen. That was one of the weirder ones. I'm sure I'll find a time to talk about some of the other weirder reactions I've ever had to someone's death or someone dying. But this was up there. This was kind of interesting. Again, they were at peace with him passing. He had gotten his goal. He had gotten his mission. He had gotten his 1 through 30 completed. And then he promptly moved on to the next level of existence. So pretty interesting, pretty cool. What's your goal, huh? What's your goal? What you want to do before you die? And how are you doing at it? How's that process going? You keeping up with it? You gonna make it? Let me know. But on that note, I hope everyone's staying safe out there. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.